It is we'll call it the playoff hype episode of Nation Real Life, brought to you by South Island Pie Company. Use promo code Nation20. Get yourself 20% off at their website or in person. So we're going to get ready. We're like less than a week away from the start of the playoffs. And to do that, we are bringing in a guy who once wore the Oilers jersey and also is a pretty big cheerleader of the team on social media. Jay, is that a good way to describe how our boy Ladi Smid reacts to games?
It's hard not to. You're the leader. You're the leader of the pack. Am I? When I'm feeling down, you're bringing me up.
Yeah, you get me pumped up on social. Like, finally, someone's got some fire.
There's so much negativity. Like, especially at the beginning of the first half of the season, I'm like, relax. The season starts after Christmas. Everybody knows that. And
that's like
sure
when we
enough,
started.
It's like they started to heat up.
That's when we started noticing it. Was like when, we were still doing fine, but we weren't doing as great as like the expectations. And people were kind of getting down on them, and you were standing up for them. We were like, you guys see this? This is the fucking best. But it's nice also that you played for the Flames. You had, I've seen your nephews wear Flames jerseys, that you picked a side and you're sticking to it. And I love it.
Never change.
No. Never. I mean, like, I play. Hey, I'll be honest. If Oilers would be out, I wish no bad things for Flames. Like they treat me well. Like some of my buddies, it's like you have to pick side. Like yeah, sure, Oilers. But like I'm not like I'm hating the Flames.
Yeah,
like
you probably show them some love on social media as well.
Not
as much.
No, because a lot of my friends from Calgary are tripping me, so I show them no love
on Twitter. You have to.
Especially, I want to mention my buddy JP, who is like a huge Flames fan, and he's probably sobbing in his bed.
Yeah,
right now.
tough end here. Tough end for them. Fun game last night. They got a rookie goalie, Dustin Wolf, to play. Yeah. Got his first win. They also had Coronado, another like.
And then Nikita Zadorov scored a hat.
Zadorov got nice. Like I mean, like they gave these
that was cool.
These kids opportunities, so it's awesome, man. Yeah,
but they should have brought up Dustin Wolf like 4 months ago. Probably he's been like the hottest goal in the AHL for
that's what they said.
3 years. Like ridiculous stats. Like, especially his like winning record is like I saw it today on Twitter. Yeah, and I was like I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, well, it's that time of the season. Bring up the rookies, give them a game.
Yeah.
Parents in the crowd. That's fun.
The Oilers are not in that spot. No, the Oilers are getting ready for round one of the playoffs. We are like, call it fully drinking the Kool-Aid, Laddie. Like we are in on this team. It feels like a year where they could go on a magical run. You're feeling the same way, right? Are you buying into this team?
I don't want to jinx it. I'm like that kind of guy. But yeah, I have the same feeling. If there was ever a year to come out of the West, like have a big chance, this is the year.
That's the thing about athletes. They're all kind of that supersticious. You probably had superstitions when you played.
Yeah. So I'm the same way.
No, I get it.
As a cheerleader, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
But I like obviously following you on Twitter, like, but you've noticed and you've been like noticing and sharing some of your observations about how you're seeing like the team be a team.
Oh yeah. Like the way they play, like it's obviously, McDavid is having a year like for ages. Dry is playing well, but the addition like of Ekholm or Bouchard, but Ekholm, like all of a sudden, like you saw another step in Bouchard's game. Took pressure from Nurse. Nurse is playing better. CC's playing better. So it's like that move made so much sense. It's amazing.
As an NHL defenseman, what is so good about Ekholm that the normal civilians, like, what do you see that we don't see? Why is he so good?
He's so hard to play against, but so calm with the puck as well. Like everybody's like, oh, he's a top shutdown defenseman. It's not just top shutdown defenseman. Like he'll take puck away from you and like he's gonna make a good play. He can join the rush as well, as you can see. Like he scored a few goals for us. He's got a bunch of points. He's plus player. I know that stat is kind of stupid in my opinion, but he is plus player. Just like the calm and presence on the back end, you have somebody to rely on now. Like you have two guys, Nurse, like Nurse can do the same thing, but I think for him it was like too much pressure, all the expectation. Now you have two guys, so you can share the responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a huge weight off of his shoulders to not have to be the number one, to not have everybody always picking him apart because of the contract he signed, which is
but it's not his fault. Like somebody's gonna offer you the contract.
sign it
it's
all
not his
day.
fault.
But
But this is the relief. That's the thing.
but
I
he's
better
a
not
good-
take all that money. I wouldn't want Twitter to hate me.
I wouldn't.
I'll be honest. Like I went to one game and I skipped for like 3 months games because there was some fan chirping Nurse and I wanted to just knock him out, but I had like two like my son there and his best friend, and I was like, I wanted to tell him what I thought of him.
Our headline would have read,
Like an
Ladi Smid
idiot.
comes to Oilers defense in crowd for his
Like
teammates.
in my
As
opinion,
per
Nurse is
usual.
really good defenseman.
Yeah.
Like so he had like a slower start of the season. Now we had added Ekholm. Now he's playing up to his standards, but like still, even when he wasn't doing as good, he's a really good defenseman. And for some pigeon in the stands to fucking picking him apart. Can I swear?
it's an
Can I
easy.
swear?
Oh, yeah, all you want.
Please
Oh, yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Fuck shit.
So like he's like calling him pile and all this shit. I'm like, fuck.
Oh, it's the
like,
old
shut
Brooks
the fuck
Koepka
up.
on Ekblad
Oh, man.
treatment. Ekblad's actually apparently been playing very well ever
Who
since.
cares
Brooks
about
did
Aaron
that.
Ekblad?
And they made the playoffs. Anyways, okay, yes.
But I
that is
want
very
I
frustrating.
want to jump in about Darnell Nurse. Like when he signs that, of course you do that. But I feel like for him, he felt the pressure and he just tried to. He was just trying to force and do too much and not be himself for a bit.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what Ekholm brings. It's like, hey, dude, like I got you, and now Darnell Nurse, like, yeah, he had a rough start, but like him in the bubble, like that was the $9 million Nurse. It's in him, but it's obviously like like the mental game weighs a lot on you. So you sign a big ticket that puts a big target on your back. He's got to go through the adjustment of all that, and that Ekholm thing, it just like resets everything. And now Nurse has like gone back to that level, and he's set up for success. And I think it's just because Ekholm's such a cool cat.
Oh,
That beard.
I never met him, but I was like just watching him on the ice since he joined the NHL. I was always a big fan. But how old is Nurse? Like,
27, 28. Like he's young.
like he's still pretty young. You know, like you're signing big ticket. You don't know how to handle all these
there's
things.
no
And
way.
in like
There's
crazy city like this, everybody loves hockey. That's the only thing. Like, you probably struggle. You have ups and downs.
And it's not like he had anybody on the team that he could bounce it off at him. This is how I feel. Like, how do I internalize this? Like
Connor's like, I don't know. I just deliver every night and I'm worth every
Duncan
penny.
Keith is gone.
Yeah.
Like nobody realized, but I said it right away. That's a big fucking hole in the locker room.
Yeah.
Like that's a big voice, really good player, obviously a Hall of Famer. Then Bouchard's game wasn't as good either without him, and now bring Ekholm, boom.
It's
Need
like
that cool guy in there.
it's like everything I see on Twitter is just like, look at what Bouchard's doing since Ekholm's been here, right? And it's cool.
Well, that was the whole thing. Like my big beef and obviously my brand about Bouchard, but like you can only have one of Barry or Bouchard, and you have to bring someone else in that slots everyone where they need to be. That's the whole thing. You're not, we like Justin Schultz is a great NHL defenseman. But if you force him into the league and force him to be a top pair guy and force him to put all those expectations, you're not going to get it because that's not who he is. Yeah. But if you have Ekholm in the lineup who's eating the minutes, or Darnell Nurse who's your top number one, and he's running your power play and he's in the third pair or maybe second pair whenever you need him to jump up, then he's great. Yeah. And so it's just about slotting people in the right position.
Yeah, and so I'm hearing you say it, and I love what you're saying, but there is the faction of people that will say to you, then he should be paid like that, right? But the fact is
paid like what?
Deals like paid like the second line defenseman, not like second line power play, right? And maybe nine's too big. I'm not saying, but
he's a first pairing
I can see
defender.
us sitting at a party and somebody being like, then pay him like that, and you just gonna look at those guys and go, man, like you can't.
The whole thing now is now he's got the support he needs to be a good defenseman, which he didn't have before. It was just him. Yeah. And he elevated Cece's game. Like we're all like, holy shit, Cece is because he was paired with Darnell Nurse. And now Darnell Nurse went through a little bit of just, we'll just say initial struggle because, the pressure of that ticket now kicking in. Like Oilers fans are so passionate. If you are paid $1 more than what we think you should be, you're gonna have a target on your back.
Yeah. So what's exciting for me right now is that the four factions of a team there is that we always worry about. Our goaltending short up right now. We're looking great.
What do you think about Skinner?
Oh, it's a great story.
Came out of nowhere. Hey?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like unbelievable story. Like, thank God for him. Like, let's be honest.
I know, and he
Like,
looks he looks
saving
more
the season.
Do you think he's fully legit? Like you've seen a lot of NHL goalies. He's only 70 games in his career.
That's the thing. Like, but he's got all the tools, I guess, to be legit. But we'll see down the road. But for now, it's the best thing that could happen.
Should he win the Calder?
Oh God!
Rookie of the year.
It's between him and the guy.
Have goalies? How many goalies have ever won the Calder?
Do we know that? So, guys, that is so close. But the thing he's been able to do here, I think he's got a bigger impact than the kid in Seattle.
Yeah, that's kind of
that's the thing. Yeah, that's my view on it.
Our season saved with him. I shouldn't say saved, but like
he gave us he's giving us a big chance. But
when it's that close, it comes down to mustaches, and that guy in Seattle has nothing.
No, he can't even grow one.
So on that basis alone,
but he has been playing really good.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
That kid, and like he's legitimately
to
good.
win the Calder with a mustache that thick.
Yeah,
that's a man. Their other guy's not a man.
It's like if whoever they gotta pick, it's gotta be no wrong.
So back to the four parts. We got the goaltending all short up. We know our top six is best in the league, I would say. Our defensemen.
I don't know if top six.
Okay.
I would say top three in the league.
Top four then.
Who's top? Who's got
I'd say Boston.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of miles though on that top six.
Boston, Colorado, and Rangers.
Rangers are legit. Rangers
I would say
scary.
Boston, Rangers, us, Colorado. I'd say
the Colorado game was fun. So then we talk about the defense, and we talk about them now. Just like with addition of Ekholm, it seems short up, but the bottom six lately has been very fun to watch.
Bukestad is like I
think that was a great pick.
I was impressed.
Face-off guy.
I thought it was fantastic.
Big guy. Like for playoffs.
And he does hit. I didn't think he was that physical, but he does hit.
Everybody was shitting on Ken Holland all season long. Then he goes out and gets a number 1 D and shores up at center. Like,
holy, but it's who else you gotta blame? Like you just needed like somebody to blame. So everybody's just going, oh, fuck, the GM sucks. Like he's not doing anything. Fuck, like he did.
Guy
he did what?
Right
How many moves did he make?
Guy
and made the team so much better. Like fuck, he knows what he's doing. Like I always roll my eyes. Like when I read this stupid shit on Twitter, I'm like, God, you're stupid.
But ever since the trade deadline, I feel like it's calmed down because like, holy
Thank
shit.
God, because fuck.
One thing that we've realized though, we've been doing this now for 15 years, believe it or not. So for finally Oilers Nation to have the Oilers be this good, it's so exciting. Every fan base of every team is that toxic on Twitter. It doesn't matter if it's NBA. It doesn't matter if it's NFL. NBA is even crazier because players are calling these weird audibles and arranging trades. So GMs are even bigger pieces of shit in most fans' minds because they don't even pull trigger on deals, right? I used to think it was just Oilers fans are extremely toxic. I've now concluded humanity's fucked. Everybody's fucked of every team.
But like it's usually when I read the bad tweets, it's usually the same people. Yeah. Honestly, like in my opinion, there's more positive.
You got to block those guys, laddie. You don't need to see that shit.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Or you can laugh.
I only respond to them when I'm a little buzzed.
Into your cups. As do I.
Getting drunk and going on Twitter is why Elon bought it for $41 billion. Everyone does it. It's okay. You're all right. Everyone's doing that.
We're talking about like what a good story Skinner is. There's a bunch of good stories on this team, but I am really excited to talk to you about the one guy on this team who you were teammates with. And that's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Can you take us back to like training camp number 1 when this
I can't even remember it. That's how old I am. But he still looks like a kid.
But even then, like I remember that picture of him in the locker room after he scored his first NHL goal and he's wearing the tight like Under Armour shirt. He looks like he's 140 pounds.
He was probably 145 pounds, to be honest.
Like looking at him in that first training camp and then now he's a 100-point guy. Like what a journey it's been for him as an Oiler.
Oh man, honestly, I'm proud to say that I was on the team with him. Like you said, the journey he took, and you know, he had some ups and downs, fans were on him, but like I think he was always like a responsible centerman, you know, two-way centerman. He was never flashy, and you know, he's got 100 points, but like he doesn't go like through people like McDavid. No, like he changed his game a little bit. Like he's very smart. He's got. I feel like he does everything well on both sides of the puck. And like, I'm really proud of him. Like it is a great story. 100 points. That's a great.
He was just a late bloomer.
And late bloomer, but
like if you look at his draft class.
Oh no, I just say that because he looks so young.
Yeah.
But he played when he was 18.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy as a centerman. Like
Having to
blows
go up
my
against
mind. Like
Kopitar and Thornton and Getzlaff.
like it's not fair to him.
And he was asked to be like more of a defensive centerman, you know, like really, and he was
wasn't
really
fair to
good
him.
at that to begin with.
Now
But
he's
his
got-
shot right now is just like, I don't know, he's finding he's worked on his shot or something because
He's always had it. Now he's just using it.
he's using it a lot though. And like on the move, which is catching people off guard.
Well, I get, like I said, he adjusted his game, but same like you brought Ekholm to the defense and help certain guys. Now you have McDavid, Draisaitl for now a bunch of years. He adjusted his game and like it works well for him. And like now 100 points.
Well, and let's talk about like you and I sitting on this couch. We both like the physical side of hockey.
Yeah.
When he decides to fight,
Did you see that?
he has the fire, and it's not just even that Justin Bull or Hole or whatever. It's Sean Monahan. It's who else he fight? Like he's only got like 4 NHL fights, but when he does it, he does it for like the right reasons, and he brings the
He
rage.
dusted that guy this year.
There's no better fight than like when superstars, and he's a superstar now. Like how many points? Nothing better, and nothing gets you going better than like guy like that fighting, and he knows how. Actually, I was shocked. He shot me
was good,
several
and-
times. He's really good, and he
So-
knows what he's doing.
Yes.
Well,
he must have trained in boxing or something in the
Yeah, of
offseason.
What we talked about is when guys are superstars and they sometimes they think, you know, like I've got to do this in this moment, but they don't really want to. So they kind of tuck the chin, get the visor.
Yeah.
He
wants to hurt
had
you.
his head up and
He's mad. He's
looking
going in.
to
He wants
throw.
to hurt you. He single-handedly like blew the roof off in that like rematch of the Cassian Kachuk game. He set the tone.
Oh yeah, he did.
He went after and
he did.
fought Monahan and then set the tone, and then all of a sudden, boom.
It's awesome. Like he matured a lot.
Oh man, I
I used to play against like Iginland. That was the last thing you wanted to do.
never poked
Get
that
him
bear.
fucking mad, because when Iginland got mad, probably if I was like Gino and 2 apples or fucking hat trick. It's like, just let him sleep, boys. Like, as soon as
Don't
the
poke the
glass
bear,
were going
man.
off, it's like, fuck, he's in the game.
Yeah.
But I don't want to compare him to Iginla. Obviously, it's not the same, but like Nuge, I like the fire in him.
Oh,
And it's
man.
awesome. It gets the bench going, gets the fans going.
Yeah, yeah.
You like the guys. So it's not
It's just
always the same
leadership.
guys.
It's
who are,
just,
like,
it's just
fighting.
leadership at this.
Yeah.
At
But
that
like,
point.
but that's when like,
Yeah.
you know, like I know like the stage fighting, all that stuff. Like fighting should be because of emotion. It should be because defending a teammate, and like when that stuff happens, like that's the true pure intensity of hockey that is beautiful.
Yeah.
And like that's what Nugent captures. Like he will out cerebral you and out IQ you with his play, but just that once in a while when he does that, it's like he is mad.
Yeah, and brings another element to his game. I fucking love it. Well,
It's the best.
Wait, they're gonna fucking didn't they ban fighting in
In the queue, yeah.
That's just
It's coming. I feel like it's coming. It's gonna be like the worst day in hockey.
But I feel like it's just trending in a direction where like the NHL will never be like, we're banning fighting, but it's just going to keep going the way it has.
It'll just happen less and
every
less.
year. It happens.
I don't think
But you should- but-
double never let go.
Man,
Come on.
like, oh.
It's the last hope.
It is crazy some games. God, it's like those kids just like there's like 3-4 fights a game sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like they just hate each other.
Oh,
Like,
it's-
and it's like, honestly, I can tell it's a pure hate. Some guys just been playing against each other for a while, and it's just like, fuck you. It's like, I'm going to take your head off. And it's like they're swinging for fences. Like, it's not just like,
that
you know.
reminds me of this fight. Did you guys see the one in the AHL like a couple nights ago between the Abbotsford Canucks and Cal?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Calgary.
Yeah.
It was posted on hockeyfights.com. Go find it.
Yeah.
It
Great
is-
website.
It's fight of the year. Like in my
oh,
opinion,
I
it's
just
one of-
watched it today.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Who's fighting?
I can't even say their names.
They're throwing bombs.
Yeah, but they're throwing bombs. I'll send it.
It's like that's like an old school.
Just
It's just an
letting
old
it
school
loose,
fight.
no defense.
To the point where when I saw the video, I thought it was, you know how you'll repost a fight of like Nasty Marasty from like 10 years ago. I thought that was this, but it was like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
That's how good it was.
There's still some factions there.
Yeah.
The double never. I believe in the dub. It's funny. I'm a big Moose Jaw Warriors fan. My cousin actually is in town for Moose Jaw. We're going to the game tonight. Shout out Mikey D. And I follow this account, Moose Jaw Warriors History.
I follow them.
And so we also had a buddy that played for the Warriors in the early 2000s. And there was this one where the captain of the team, Sean O'Connor, goes in playing the Pats rivalry game. Goes in, a little dust up. He pulls the goalie out of the scrum and starts fighting the goalie. And then line brawl ensues.
Yeah.
So I sent it to my buddy. He laughs like, oh, blah, blah, blah. He's like, those are the good old days. This used to happen all the time. He then sends it to Sean O'Connor. And Sean O'Connor's like, that was just a normal Tuesday for us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ah.
It used to be, yeah. Like,
But I mean,
even
there's still quite a few, like, okay, player development for the Oil Kings. There's still good fights in junior.
Oh yes, there's some like
If
there's
you
some
want to
scary
see some
dudes.
good fights,
There's some scary dudes in that league, man.
What?
Like,
yeah.
like some of the 19, 20-year-olds, like they know how to do it.
yeah, and they're you know, I don't want to say they're more willing, but they seem more willing
More
to want to
willing,
do
and
it.
I think the thing that sucks is like there's less respect than at the pro level, right? Like they will grab almost anybody too. So that's the scary part. Like you should use your head a little bit more. At the pro level, like you respect, usually there's a few guys, but your opponent, but you know, in junior, it's like I see
You know it, like you play in the NHL, you're a fighter, you know the coach, you know all the players. Like in junior hockey, you know every player that you play against at all times, or could you grab a guy you just don't really even know?
But I think there's probably some moments because you guys were a young team with the Oil Kings this year. There's probably some moments where you guys had like a 16-year-old getting grabbed, and you're probably like, what?
That was I can recall one fight that our 16-year-old kid like hits a guy, and it looked bad, but it wasn't like even a really bad hit. Well, the guy from the other team, I think, was like 19, 20-year-old. Ostapchuk. He's actually a good player. He beat the fuck out of him.
Oh, yikes.
And like he felt bad afterwards, and he apologized to him. He apologized to our coaches, I think, too. But it's too late. Like, use your hat. Like the kid didn't even like it was a clean hit. He got a 2-minute penalty for that he hit the guy too hard, but it was like shoulder to shoulder, nothing bad. But this huge guy against our little guy, he just got his cage taken off. Poor guy.
Yeah.
And not even a fight though. Like he didn't give him a chance.
But it's like
our kid was like turning as the other guy is huge, drop his mitts and start pounding him. I'm like, I want to jump on the fucking ice. Like I was like,
was it like a reflex? You think
That's
for the
gonna happen
19,
one day.
20?
It is going to happen one day. I can feel it.
Maybe like fuck, I don't know, but come on.
Yeah.
Like he knew who our guy was. That he's 16, 100%.
Oh,
for sure.
100%.
Safety spot.
And I was furious.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I can imagine.
Yes. I was screaming at him.
How is working for the Oil Kings? Are you having a good time?
Yeah, well, a lot of learning. Like it's a lot of work. But more for the coaches, like obviously, but than me. But like even like I didn't realize how much work it goes into it, and like how much video.
So like we said, you are the are hockey development. What's the exact title?
Yeah, development coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what what is, for somebody that doesn't know, like I don't really know what that entails, but like what does that entail in a daily basis?
Well, like my role is like I don't have to go on the road.
Okay.
But at home, do everything. I'm even like the third coach on the bench.
Sure.
So mostly like talking to the guys, showing them videos, pulling the clips, showing them good stuff, bad stuff, engaging with them. I kind of want to be more their friend because we already have head coach and assistant of the coach, and you know how it is. Like sometimes guys don't feel as comfortable, so I like to fuck around with them a little bit more.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
You know, sometimes when the team went on the road, some guys would be left behind, so I would be skating them if they were injured, or you know they wouldn't be in the lineup and stuff like that. It was a lot of.
It's very important. It's very important for kids that are away from home at those ages to have somebody like that in the organization. That's not just going to be a disciplinarian, coach, but like to be a teacher, like somebody who's going to listen to them. To I
want to be like the connection between them and the coaching staff. Right. Like they don't have to fear me. Like I went through a lot of stuff, like hockey wise, injury wise, mental stuff. You know, like went through pretty much everything on both sides of the ocean. Yeah, everything in Europe and here and. So I can give them a lot of experience, I think knowledge. You know, it's sometimes at the beginning, it was kind of hard when you had like heart-to-heart conversations. Like you have to like criticize.
Yeah,
them
you're
almost.
learning too, right? How to do it.
So it's like hard for me, but like you gotta like separate that side because like you have a job to do. But these days, like it's not back when I was young, going through junior, like the coach would just lose his shit on me. Then I would come home, like
You didn't feel like you had any support.
try to complain to my dad. He's like, "Shut the fuck up," you know, you know, like basically, you know, like stuff like that.
Guess I'll just
Now you
push
gotta
this
be
down here.
yeah. It was like old school, man. Like fuck, it was hard.
Yeah.
But that's how I was brought up. So,
Yeah.
but now sometimes I want to be like that. I'm losing my mind inside, but I'm like, you need to be more like psychologist almost and like understand what the kids are going through because this is a totally new generation. And some kids are not raised like that at all. Like parents are, you know, like as a parent, you're trying to protect your kid. And like,
For sure.
I do sometimes the same thing, but my especially my son, he's getting the both sides, a little bit of old school, a little bit of the new school. But what he tells me is like, when I tell him what he did wrong in the practice, like, you don't love me. And he like shuts it down. I'm like, no, I love you. I'm trying to help you. You know, so you get better.
You're just not back checking.
but that's not a problem. Like
I
he
love
does
you
other
more
stuff
when
that
you back
pisses me
check.
off. But my son has got anger issues. Big anger. If anybody on U9 and if anybody is in a scrum, is my son in the middle of this every
He's
time.
feisty.
You know, somebody takes the puck away and he goes like for like a blindside hits. And I'm like, there's no hitting here.
You can't
like,
do
you
this.
cannot do it. The last game of the season, even one of the coaches is like, hey, you should say something. I'm like, yeah, I told him twice. You do it one more time, I'll pull you off the ice. Of course, last shift, he fucking lines this kid up like almost blindside hit. Like,
Some would call him opportunistic.
yeah, I guess. But I'm like,
Could be a positive.
So
what are you doing?
But like, are you torn though? Like, is that
I'm
awesome?
kind of
awesome or is that
See,
shitty?
okay,
like,
so
where's
here-
the line?
I'm kind of proud of him.
Yes, I know.
So having two boys just like that playoff, one was always getting taken advantage of, right? Was never opportunistic, never really gritty, right?
Yeah.
And I always wanted it to happen. I always wanted him to gain that part of it. I just to protect himself, if nothing else. The younger one, kind of crazy, kind of, opportunistic, like I call it, right? And you appreciate it a bit more because as long as he's doing it without hurting anybody, at least he's not going to be in a position where he's going to get hurt. So it's like a double-edged sword a little bit. It is. It really is.
I totally hear you, and I'm the same way. Like I rather him to be on the crazy side than like taking it.
Because if you can like explain to him what's happening and what he's doing and not let it get out of control, it is a protective trait that they have. And like as a father watching their kid play hockey, all you want them to do is just not get really seriously hurt, not put themselves in a position to be taken advantage of.
And he's standing up for his teammates too. Like if somebody slashes the goalie, like he's there and cross-check him. Like,
and
I'm like,
He's probably watching your tape.
I was gonna say,
he watched some of my fights. Like, he loves it.
Oh, is he dug in? He's gotten in on YouTube?
Let's not get into my son because he disappoints me at other areas who he cheers for.
That's all good. That's all good.
Okay.
Can't even say, guys, because we might be playing them in the first round. Of
LA?
playoffs. No, man.
You guys got a house
I just want to
divided.
bring him when the other. So LA is his main team, but he loves Marner and Matthews as well.
Whatever.
So they signed a jersey for him to so he was super happy, and
So weird
but
growing up in
whenever
a city
they
that's
lose-
McDavid.
whenever they lose. Yeah, because you know what? He's like, well, everybody loves McDavid. He loves Draisaitl. He really loves Draisaitl.
Yeah.
He's got his jersey signed. But like McDavid's like, well, everybody cheers for him and blah, blah, blah. And then with Marner, like fucking TikTok or whatever, this YouTube shit.
Yeah.
So he saw his video and like, apparently Marner is very popular with like younger kids.
For sure he is.
So he loves Marner now. He likes Toronto,
Michi.
but LA is his team. Today he went to the school with a LA hoodie and a hat. I'm like, what are you doing?
Where does that come from?
But I also
I don't.
I don't
If
either.
he's gonna play them,
But
I'm
where
bringing
did-
him to the game,
That's
and he for sure as fuck he's gonna wear that fucking stupid
well,
hoodie on his
yeah.
head.
And
I
you're
hope
for
they
your brand.
lose. I'm gonna laugh at him.
But you know what? You're a good father because you're going to let him. But
Yeah, but
he's
the
going to get
people-
taught a hard lesson if they lose.
Yeah, but some people are like looking at him, it's like, fuck are you doing? Like, why is your son wearing something else? And because usually I wear like Oilers something.
Yeah.
Respect.
And then my kid,
because
I get
I don't know.
It's for the same reason my son quit baseball this year and is playing soccer. Because you know what? As much as it kills me inside, sometimes you just got to let this stuff go and be a good father and just let them do what they want to do, right?
Yeah,
Who on LA? Like, what's his draw?
That's what I was wondering.
I have no idea. I think it started with like him like in the jerseys.
The silver
and
helmet.
now
They
he's
are
like
very cool.
now Doughty. I'm like, who's your favorite player on the LA? He's like Doughty.
Oh boy,
So like,
8 years old. Is he already a defenseman?
Is he a
in heart?
defenseman?
What?
Is he a defenseman?
Well, at this age, there's no positions.
There's
But
no positions, but if he wants to, if he slots somewhere, it's usually defense.
you
and
can usually see their tendencies.
yeah,
even in half
he's
ice?
100%. He's 100% defenseman in his mind. He with a bad gap, defenseman with a bad gap. He always like back, and now he's next to the goal. I'm like, what are you doing? And he blocks shots. Which is
good man.
crazy. I'm like, don't block shots. It sucks, buddy.
Not yet.
Oh no, he goes on both knees and blocks the shot with his body. I'm like, well, I have a lot of respect for it. But I was like, that doesn't pay the bills, buddy. Like,
Sounds to me like you're raising Ladi Smid Jr. here.
I guess.
I know a guy who sounds like that.
I'm trying to work on the skills well.
Good gap,
I don't know
though.
how much skill I can show him, but you know, off the glass out maybe. But
Oh, buddy, I love it. I love it. I love kids hockey. Like it's such a small microcosm of just like their personality when you see them on the ice.
like I love it. And now I have a smaller boy. My daughter obviously doesn't want to go to his hockey, but my smaller boy, he's going to be 2 years old. And all he is like goal. That's his thing, goal. And by his goal, we have to go watch my older son. So he watches him on TV first thing. It used to be fucking Baba Beshi or whatever this shit.
Some cartoons.
Now it's hockey highlights. My 2-year-old son, not even 2-year-old. He needs highlights and he like watches it. And when somebody scores, he's like, go, and always playing with stakes. And I'm like, fuck, I'm just going to be spending a lot of time at that.
For sure. Yeah. But it's going to be younger brother syndrome where they are he's going to dominate because he probably has a mini stick in his hand.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. And he wants to play. And now I play with my older son. I play mini sticks downstairs, and he's always in between us with a stick. Now he learned how to slash with that, so it hurts. But like always something with hockey. But the craziest thing is it's not like cartoons or anything on TV. It needs to be hockey. It's nuts.
It's best. How's the old knees on the mini sticks?
What?
The knees and the mini sticks.
Oh man, it
the
hurts.
Worst,
well, finally, like we got him like the padded ones.
Yeah.
But he had like wooden one, like that I got for like Battle of Alberta.
Yeah.
And that kills.
Yeah.
And he like goes behind you and like boom over your hand.
Oh yeah.
So I get like angry, you know.
Say no slashing. It's got to be below the waist, kid. Come on, man.
Yeah. Slash your mother, huh?
Did you make it out to a lot of playoff games last year when the Oilers were on their run?
I think like 3 or 4. Like honestly, sometimes it gets like overwhelming, and I enjoy it more at home.
Can actually watch.
Yeah.
And,
Also, you save some money on beer.
Yeah.
But honestly, it got like at times like I said, overwhelming. Like I wouldn't be watching the hockey game. I would be like with my buddies, since like everybody's trying to talk to you. So when you're at home, like you enjoy it, you know, nobody talks. Just everybody keep your mouth shut, and like it's the best time of the year.
When we were in the bubble, I don't know, we couldn't go see anybody. I was watching that thing in the basement, basically by myself. And I had never felt so lonely.
Oh, man.
I just wanted to be out of my house.
There was no fans.
But
in the
there
stands.
isn't. And then we went to a couple games, and my God, were they good, right?
The atmosphere is like ridiculous. Like it's like never experienced anything like that.
No.
And it's good to experience it. But like if I would have to go to every single game, it would get overwhelmed, and my wife would probably divorce me because I would get juice pretty much
every second night.
It's hard not to.
Last year they were finishing my house at that time of the year, and like the builder, I'm like, he's like, fuck, I hope the playoff stops like pretty soon because I can't. Oh, he was like hungover almost every other day.
Every second day. So I said to my wife, I said, you know what season it is? What's that? Well, every second night there's a couple drinks going down. Every second night you have to be in front of the TV or at the game having a beer, watching the game.
You have to, yeah. I cannot stop it just at a couple drinks. Like,
nah,
I'm checked. So
It's the playoffs.
It's a full force or nothing. Yeah.
Well, but playoffs are also stressful and stress drink and.
You stress drink, and then if they lose, you're like, fuck, I need a couple of drinks.
Yeah,
so
and if they win, I need 100 drinks.
If they win, you're like, hell yeah, it's a party. Green light, let's go.
God. And the whole city is like up to like what 2, 3.
Well, and so speaking of the whole city, so I know they have the ice district where everybody's watching it, but I heard a rumor. And tell me if this is true, that where the old casino was, that they are turning that into an area where
fan zone or something.
I was there last night. They have like outdoor bleachers set up.
So, because when they show on TV, like in Toronto, their square, how it was packed with people. Ice district is pretty big, but it's not that size. I don't.
So
think.
is it that empty spot right next to Rogers? We just played a little shinny hockey there, and they have cables going there from the casino. So and some trailers, so something's happening.
You were doing like an alumni skate today, right?
Yeah.
Who's out there for an Oilers alumni skate right now? Who's really ripping it up?
Strutty?
Strutty wasn't there. He said he would, but as always, he doesn't deliver.
Fails. Classic Strutty.
Classic Strutty. But maybe he was just.
How do you just not show up?
He's probably stressed if he would have to change in front of me, Like I still have it. He probably he probably let go.
You want to talk about the Jack Adams award from earlier?
JD Delorier was there. Cassian was there. Tassoni, Chipchura, Chris Joseph.
Chris Joseph's in good shape.
Holy fuck!
He is. Yeah,
that's ridiculous. Yeah. He's my mentor with like alumni and stuff, and he was telling me about the Alzheimer's pro-am.
Oh, you playing in it?
Oh yeah. Apparently, I have to pace myself.
Oh, buddy.
It's a roller coaster.
Is it?
That starts on the draft
night.
Are
you there, guys?
So we have been in the past. Oilers Nation actually put in a team for 3 straight years. And we would, we do our fundraising, and then the draft came. And the draft was like a blowout night. Friday night, one night it was at Shanks, and the other night it was I think it was always at Shanks. Anyways, doesn't matter. We stay out till very, very late. Yeah. And you'd have a game like 8:30 a.m.
out till 3.
So you just go straight, guys. You just go straight.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. No, we did.
If you sleep, you're fucked.
And you would get there. If you sleep, you're fucked. But we would have in the dressing room a cooler of like G3s, we call them, vodka G2, and a bunch of beers. And
so you just keep
so we usually play 2 games on Saturday, go out for a beautiful dinner. I remember one night at Vaughn's, and then into Cook County.
Yeah, big dinner.
I think the draft is at Cook County this year.
Is it?
I have no chance. I love that place.
But the reality is, that's the team that drafts you. That's what they want. Like, they just want to party with you.
Yeah,
that's
I remember walking
into hockey just gets in the way.
On the way here, I called my wife because Chris Joseph told me similar things. So I was like, so this Alzheimer's thing, it might be like a beacon of drinking. Of course it is. Of course.
Tell your wife that you might not be home.
Cause.
These guys go and raise a bunch of money for a great cause, and they want to they want to draft alumni that that'll tell stories and like hang out with them late in the night.
You know how we're going to cure Alzheimer's?
So
alcoholism. That's how we're going to cure it.
Is this your first year?
Yeah, first year.
I guarantee you, wherever you get slotted this year, where you get drafted next year, because I know like how you sound and how you are, and you're so personable, and that you will stick.
You're not going to be like Gord Shervin and go home.
You will move up. You'll probably, if you're number 5 this year pick, you'll be like 1 or 2 next year.
So Laddie, some team drafted Brad May, but they were not a party team, and we were. And our guy knew. We went to Vaughn's. These guys just wanted to hang out and like show us a good time, tell stories. We're walking into Cook County at like 11. Brad May's walking through the door with us and post up at the bar, and I was just like, "This guy's the coolest, man. He just wants to come and hang." And
is it Brad May? Yeah. I think he's here this year too.
Mayday's a good guy.
He was unbelievable.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, he just.
I think Brian Trottier is here, like Matthew Barnaby.
Yeah.
Oh, Barnaby will be.
Barnaby, wow.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think team will want to drop him. Like, I would want to drop him. I grew up watching him. Fuck, he was tough.
Oh, he was
and
funny.
Like the hockey, what was funny, who was the player? Was it McSorley that would always be kind of intense on the ice?
Opposite of intense.
No, there was.
I play with him at
he's got double hip replacement. He's not. He's just there to hang.
We played. Remember that morning we played Clawman's team, and their pro.
I thought you told me it was Wendell Clark.
No, Wendell Clark took a guy out
that's the
because
story.
like this guy was going after him.
Going
all
after him,
game.
like chirping, like
Who goes after him?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Fucking
some
guy need to
point,
be taught a lesson.
you don't poke Jerome McGinley. You definitely don't poke Wendell Clark. I don't care if
No
he's
shit.
60 years old.
Was it Crucial Niski? He was going a little hard.
He might have been. I can't. I think it was like
Crusher.
What level of hockey? Am I
Oh, there's
supposed to-
it's all levels. Like on our team, we had some good hockey players.
guys only played men's
but
league.
there was
versus
other
guys
teams
that
where you
played
have guys
junior.
that are maybe have played only men's league. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it's mixed.
it doesn't. It's so
Yeah.
much less about
But
the
it
hockey
is
than
fun.
it is about the
Honestly, the hockey gets in the way. Some people might be hardos and care about the hockey, but it's about like hanging out, like the dressing room before and after the games
Oh,
is
it's
the
a
best
party.
point. The going to the bar in between games is good. The draft and then the
Are
night
you
of the
there
Saturday
all
night.
day?
all day
On
on
Saturday.
Saturday. Saturday's
You
a full
don't
day.
go home.
Because you guys will go for lunch and have some
drink there?
drinks.
Then and then you'll drink at lunch, and then you'll play your
Yeah.
second game, and then you'll go out for dinner, and then you'll be expected to hit the Cook County again.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
your
it's
wife,
a
I
day.
gotta
Chris
go to-
Joseph told me one thing. I'll give you advice: pace yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Mixing of water.
You know,
I got to go to Cook County. We're curing Alzheimer's, babe.
That's right.
We're going to have her wrapped up
I'm
by
sacrificing
morning.
my liver
We're
for a
doing
good
great
cause.
work.
one draft pick because I think he had some practice. Jamie McCowan. That guy
He is so fun, man.
was so fun.
He's got
Oh,
so
yeah,
many
you went
stories.
from Flames, yeah.
He went
Oh, man.
so hard and had so much fun and was so good to everybody. Like just
Yeah.
had if you.
He's got the
everybody
best
wanted-
stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He did.
crazy stories.
Oh,
It was
He
so
played. Well,
good.
think about the teams he played on.
oh, man, yeah. And back in the day,
Yeah.
no social media. You could have done anything.
That's
The
and
stole
those
the
were the
That would be
stories
my
they
time
tell
to
you.
play. Like, now, I was nervous sometimes for a week. Like, is he gonna leak
And that's
out or-
why these guys, like myself and JR, like went and did the fundraising because that's the type of there's unfiltered fun you get to have with these dudes, right? Like they're telling you stories from back.
We didn't
in the
even
day.
draft Jamie McCown, and he still came out.
He
and
was
hung
with
out
us. Yeah.
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 So there are some teams that they're pretty tame.
Some of them are going to be tame.
Some
Yeah.
will. Yeah, it's a mix. Like some people like this is their weekend, right? Like this is their
At the
like
draft
boys'
party,
weekend. They
you'll
get
see
together.
tables all
Yeah.
around. You'll see which tables are got the waitress coming back and forth, right? And you'll see the other tables that are kind of just sitting there waiting for the draft to get
Yeah.
to commence.
You could Eric
Go
Lindros
start
the team
talking-
and don't accept to be drafted. If you
Go
don't
start
like the look.
talking to a team that's having drinks.
If a boring
fuck no.
team's like, we're going to take Ladi Smid, you will not
How
continue.
many drinks does that table have?
I'm Lindros. You're the
no.
Yeah, it's like you're kind of lobbying to get drafted by a certain team if they got a good look, good vibe to them. You know what I mean?
It's funny, like the pros
Game
that come
within
and
the
just
game.
like go through the like they don't come and like engage with their team. They just kind of come and to just go through the motions. Like the whispers about them for next year, right?
yeah.
And they'll drop in the draft.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
They don't care about your resume or anything. They just want like a good dude who's played in the league that's obviously better than just to tell stories with and like just hang out and be one of like their boys for the weekend. That's all they want.
Is it just companies from Edmonton or all over?
This one will be like just Edmonton and Eric because the tournament they have tournaments in like Toronto, Calgary.
Yeah, it'll be like Leduc and
Yeah,
Spruce
just
Grove.
surrounding
It'll be,
area, yeah.
it'll be fun. You're gonna have a good time.
No, it's a hoot.
I wonder if I'm gonna know some people.
Probably, guaranteed you will.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You'll be shocked at how many people you know. Actually, guaranteed.
Yeah, my buddy Blair, he was already talking to some of his buddies. Like, you should draft Ladi.
Yeah.
And he said
We need
that.
to get back in this. Just romanticizing this thing right now.
It's fun. You know what? I just want to coach. I don't want to play.
Then don't play. Just
Coach and drink.
Put
Yeah,
together
yeah.
the team. We'll worry about our personal fundraising goal.
Yeah.
All it ever needed was
I'll play,
somebody
though.
to put the
I know.
application.
I know that was the whole
And that
thing.
was
I was the GM of it. I'm not a GM.
Fair enough.
All good.
Who cares?
Should we talk about playoffs?
Okay, let's do playoff. We got business to take care of because we're officially announcing that we have our sponsor bar and our partner for our away game playoff parties this year. And it's Greta
Yes.
Downtown.
Yes.
Mario Kart in the
Have you been to
intermissions.
Greta,
Hell
Laddie?
yeah.
Yes.
How can you play video games when you're buckled?
Well,
I
some,
wouldn't be
some
able
would
to
say
Mario
better.
Kart.
Some would say I shoot better hoops when I've had a couple. Yeah.
I'm a really good ping pong player when I'm drunk. Ask our former conditioning coach Simon Bennett. He got me
Body by
It
Bennett?
was last summer. He saw me at a craft, being drunk.
Yeah.
Play ping pong, smoked him. It's like Go away, little man.
I don't even think they have ping pong.
I
there.
think they might. I'm pretty sure they got everything there.
They do have it.
So that's the thing.
I'm gonna have to check it out. Then.
Oh yeah,
Well, I was going to
absolutely.
say, I'll shoot you some of the info. We'll have to have Ladi out to a playoff party this year because they were a good time last year.
Make it official, so my wife has to agree with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eighth to cure Alzheimer's. We need him here
Put it
for
there.
8 o'clock.
and Ladi,
Hashtag cure.
Cured by morning.
to help with the explaining to your wife, there's always a charity component to our playoff watch parties. So you're supporting local charity,
Exactly, guys. Like
I feel like
and
we're
you're
the
also
same.
supporting a
If
community.
it's in the
of
calendar,
Oilers
she
fans.
has to say yes. If it's in the calendar, she has to look.
Yeah, put it in the family
have to
calendar.
do it.
Quick.
it's on the fridge. Yes, so I'm just gonna slide it in.
You see here, it's on the fridge. I don't know what to tell you.
We're going to have
go.
our ON Oil Up playoff stickers. We will be selling Nation gear at these parties.
Nation Gear pop-ups.
And we are going to have a good goddamn time. Every away playoff game we are posting up at Greta. And Greta, head to their website because you're going to have to make reservations for these because similar to last year, they'll sell out. The parties will sell out.
I love playoff parties. They're just another level.
If there's one thing you got to know about nation parties, and I've been to like a lot now recently, they're always packed. You never have to worry about that anymore. So like if you're sitting on your ass and not thinking about doing something, like if you want to do this, you have to be proactive.
And come with a crew or come solo, man. Like everyone's there to hang out and do this. Like
People come
the same
solo?
thing.
Oh yeah. One of my favorite things last year when we'd be at like Beercade was finding all the people who just like listen to the pod, listen to the show, show up solo,
Yeah.
buy them a beer, have a good time. Oh yeah.
And then they'll form their own table.
Exactly.
And they'll become
They
their own,
daisy
like,
chain
it's-
together.
It's just interesting how it all comes
Yeah,
to
you'd
be.
get a group of like 4 podcast listeners, all came alone, sat like separately at the bar to start, boom, all sitting together by the end of the game. It's the best.
I gotta say, share my experience with like going solo somewhere. Like, and anytime, not anytime, but it happened a few summers in a row. I would go for lunch on a Sunday by myself.
It's nice.
Skip, and it's like 1 a.m. by myself. But you meet people all the time, and just like unexpectedly good party, good drinking.
That's
and it's
a
like
Sunday
boom.
fun day if I've
Yeah,
ever
Sunday
heard
fun
of it.
day. It's
You're
like boom.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
yeah, well,
fun
not
Monday.
anymore. Right, wife, kids.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
this
happen.
was-
But if
Yeah.
you're curing Alzheimer's,
Well, it
This
happens.
was free
it,
calendar.
well,
Laddie.
yeah. It wasn't in the calendar.
We were actually reminiscing. We were actually reminiscing about back when we were like early 20s the other day on our group chat. How you would just like have no plan. You would go to Earl's, Joey's, something on like a
Yes.
Saturday at like noon. Next thing you know, it'd be like midnight, and you were there for a 12-hour shift.
your bill's
and you had
$9,000.
no plan. And then you're like, "Where are we
You got the
going?"
bill and you're like, how am I going to pay for this?
Yeah. And those were some of the most fun days because as you bonded with your buddies so much in
know.
those days. Those are the best. Anyways, sorry, Tyler.
Yeah, we've been running for a while. So, Laddie, I'll end with one more like serious hockey question for you. Tonight, we're going to find out who the Oilers are playing in round 1. Could be Winnipeg, could be Seattle, could be LA. Is there one of those that scares you at all, or do you think the Oilers can roll any one of them?
It's playoffs. I wouldn't say roll, but I think all those teams are beatable.
Yeah.
Like based on what I saw last year in the playoffs in the first round, I think LA is tough.
Yeah.
Like I think they're like their top 2 sentiments they know what they're doing, especially in the playoffs. I think the team is well structured, good D. Yeah. I'd say LA, Winnipeg is like they can play a heavy game too.
Yeah. Good goalie, too.
Yeah,
We still have
hell of a goalie, I'd
PTSD
say
from
one of them.
Winnipeg.
That's the thing. If they
I
wake
think-
up, Winnipeg could be scary.
Yeah,
No
and
Winnipeg, no
you know they're
Winnipeg.
gonna play a physical game.
Oh, yeah.
Like because how else do you have a chance against our team? Yeah, you got to play physical and shut it down.
The thing I like though is we can play that game now, right? Like
Yeah,
we're a
we
lot
can.
bigger and heavier.
Austin and Fogle when he's engaged. Like we got some forwards now who they can bruise you.
Fogel's been great the last couple games.
Yes.
Yeah,
Last
I agree.
That's,
He
that's
has
where
been
I was
pretty
going
good
with
this year,
my
actually,
bottom
overall.
6 thing. Like McLeod looked great in his last game. Then Fogle has been really nice.
So outside of like Ekholm, we'll say Skinner, McDavid, and Draisaitl, like who do we need to rely on like to push us through, further than we did last year? Like what are the keys outside of like our big like 5 horsemen from delivering? Like what are some of like the guys we want to lock in on to deliver?
Well, the guys who were carrying you need four lines. Obviously those top dogs got to be playing more, but if you want to go on a long run, you need 4 lines and 6D and quality goaltender. But the usual, McDavid, Draisaitl, you're gonna have Hyman. Kane, I think can be huge.
Kane last year in the playoffs,
Like he's gonna be he wants to win, obviously. He's got to be engaged physically, and that's what you want. Like, he's a fucking beast when he gets going, and like, he's a scary dude out there. You're going to have Ekholm. You're going to have Nurse. Nurse needs to be big. Bouchard on the power play. These guys. But like I said, but Nuge also, like, everybody is important, guys. Like,
I feel like those guys are all going to perform. And what I want to see is just the same thing that I talked about World Juniors 10 years ago when Canada would step on the ice. And the very first shift, they would hit everything in sight, and it would set a tone, right? And it would, everybody would just raise their level, right? And
Just
our
line brawl.
third line going out there, and when they are on the ice, and when our fourth line, I know that they're probably going to shorten it a bit, and our fourth line's probably not going to get a ton of ice time, but the third line, just forecheck.
energy line. You get only 11 to 13 minutes. Do your job.
Yeah. You
And
have
I know
to be
it's
going at
and
full speed at all times.
And I know it's not easy. Sometimes you have to somehow keep yourself engaged in the game. And when it's go time, it's fucking go time. You do there with purpose.
They just can't do the norm.
No,
they have to elevate, and they have to hit, and so that everybody on the bench is going, oh shit.
But I feel like they will. Like, it's almost impossible not to do it when you see how hard like McDavid and Draisaitl played last year in the playoffs. They're gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
And like, how didn't you like follow that? Like, you have to follow that. When your best players on the team are doing it, you would fucking feel embarrassed.
Remember
Very
that
excited.
That first shift of Game 7 against LA when McDavid just steamrolled Thursday right in the corner, set the tone. How about this? Talking about teams in the West, Colorado just announced that Gabe Landeskog's done for the year.
That's
not going to come back and play at all.
Yeah,
that's a big loss for them.
That's two big losses for them in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, because no one knows what McCarr's status is and when he's going to be good. That Avs team might be hurting.
Round 1, Laddie, what are you drinking? What kind of beer are you drinking? Round 1. First round. Start out smooth.
Beer?
Yeah, what type of beer?
Pilsner Urquell. Check.
All the way through.
We had a sponsorship. Our bus, when I went to Europe to play in Europe, we went.
Are you flexing on Ladi Smid again?
What hockey is like in Czech.
It was the best when I was in Mariansky, and we had 4 flats of Pilsner, like tall boys too, on our bus.
That's the only way.
They give that to elementary school students over there, Chalmers.
We put them all in a shower with ice, and we just.
Are you trying to tell Laddie about Pilsner?
I just love that. I just love that. Me and Laddie are basically the same guy, man.
Does it taste the same over here as it does at home?
No.
We found
It's weird how that is.
When we went to the Heineken factory in Amsterdam or wherever it was, we
So
couldn't
much better
believe
Yeah.
how can this be so different?
They say in Czech like it's got something to do with the water.
Yeah.
Because they don't, it's not, do they brew it here? Is that why?
Same recipe
I guess
brewed in
so,
Canada.
Yeah, it's
Not
a
the Czech tap water coursing through your veins.
Yeah, man. Fuck. I miss it. Almost want to cry. No, like that.
When you go home, where do you love to like? What culture of the Czech Republic do you miss the most over here? Is it just
Like that? Just go to the pub with my friends. Like, everything is so much smaller. You can like drive to Prague whenever you want. Like, there's so much culture there. Like, all kind of different restaurants, food. My family is there, and then the delightful beer. Like the patios in the summer, and like the beer guys. Like, you have beer in kegs, right?
Yeah.
We have them in a huge tanks. So now they make them like, they put like 1,000 beers in a huge tanks. And the tank is always the same temperature in like a secluded room. It keeps the same temperature. And there's one pipe into those taps. And like the beer is not as.
You guys want to go to a pub right now?
Yeah, I don't want to go
You guys
to
it's not as
want to go get a beer after this?
It's
or?
not as gassy though.
is it a stone mug? What are you drinking?
Oh,
out
in the
of?
mug, yeah, it's a pint.
Yeah.
So it's not as gassy. So like you don't get blown up. You don't like have to burp or anything, and you can just crush them.
So when it's not beers, what is it?
Me?
And when you're going full
like
party mode,
shots of vodka, shots of tequila, gin and tonic,
Respect.
pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Well, but like mostly beer or beer, wine when I'm home. So I'm like
A gentleman.
Gentleman.
Yeah,
I'm like,
always have a
I'm
nice
not like,
meal.
I don't feel like alcoholic. Yeah, gin and tonic.
I love how people don't feel like an alcoholic when they drink a bottle
That's
of
what
red
wine has
It's
done.
As soon as I start opening like the
classy.
fifth beer, I'm like, fuck, I'm back.
So, but like Czech pub culture, like here, like with beer and wings. Like you go to the pub in Czech,
Schnitzel.
it's beer and
beer and beef tartare, fried
Classy.
cheese.
that's very classy.
Now you can get chicken wings too, but yeah, I'd say beef tartare or ribs. A lot of ribs
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
beef tartare. It's so fancy.
Oh,
that,
it's-
that just
yeah,
is a glass
but-
of wine.
You
It's
know
like
what
a
this
fried- it's
giant
fried
tank
bread.
beer needs is
It's
an
a fried
uncooked
bread.
meat.
And like beef tartare, and like you just crush it. Oh, it's so good. Oh my god, I want to fly back right
Nation
now.
vacation to Czechia.
Why isn't there a
What are you
good
doing to me,
Czechia
guys?
bar here where you could go get all this stuff?
There's a business idea.
There is a Czech restaurant, but it's not a pub.
Is that?
It's a bistro Praha.
It's good. I love that
It's
restaurant.
good, yeah, it's good, but it's not pub. Like I like to go
Are you a
just.
consultant?
yeah.
Are you? Do you test out their food before they put it on?
I
the
haven't been there
menu?
for a long time, but when I was there, it was
Legit.
it was run by
Legit, eh?
yeah. My mom is here now, so she makes all the
Oh,
Czech
that's
food,
nice.
so it's nice. So the alcohol intake has been
But now it's
Higher?
playoffs, baby.
Higher with Mama
it's-
here.
yeah.
It happens.
She makes all these like delightful dishes from Czech, and they all
To
make you
wash them
thirsty.
down.
They
You
all
can't
make you
not
thirsty.
wash them
She's like,
down.
"What are you drinking? Right? Water? Like that doesn't go together with goulash."
Whatever you say,
Okay.
Mom.
But you got your okay. So how do you do this? Because like if you got your mom here in town, like she's your mom. She still thinks you're this like 10-year-old child like that she's nurturing. So she's making sure you're fed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How are you not 300 pounds?
I work out like 2.5 hours. every morning.
You must.
Yeah, I do.
I knew that was the answer. I just didn't want to hear it.
Well, because like I go to my and whatever.
Oh,
Like
so
Poland's a
gotta do
completely
that.
different country, but they're whatever. I go there, and if I don't get fed like 4 million calories worth of food
It's-
in the 90
it's
minutes
insane.
I'm there, like
they
The
feel
day's
like
a loss.
they
It
haven't
tastes
done
so
their
good.
job.
Like how can you?
I know, and it's so
And
good.
then it's baking too. Like she bakes like fuck. I'm like, and it was Easter, right? So she was making like all these sweets, like traditional sweets. I'm like, God. So I did go on like a 1 week without gym. And then the following week I had to start on Monday. Honestly, like I smell like
hard.
shit. I was
Yeah.
like some guys even chirp me like, you don't usually like take this much time like in between sets. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Like, leave me alone, man.
I'm like,
I got a food coma.
Easter, mom's here.
I was like bent over. I was thinking about like throwing up and stuff. I'm like, no more. Like,
Trying to cure Alzheimer's over here, you guys. Leave me alone. Yeah.
Well, Laddie's still in NHL shape. I will tell you that much
Thank
for
you.
free.
Yeah, if you're looking to draft him at the Alzheimer's thing, he's in good shape. Laddie, excited for the playoff run. It's gonna be a fun time in this city. We said we'd do like half an hour. You stayed for an hour. You're the
Thanks for
fucking
coming back,
man.
buddy. It was awesome.
fun.
Fucking
It
man.
flew by.
I think
Thanks
the
for having
first
me.
time we did it was supposed to be like 45 minutes. It was 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
break into two
Yeah,
parts
yeah,
that
yeah.
episode. But you're the man. Enjoyed the playoffs. We'll see you at a playoff party.
We'll see you at
Thank-
Greta.
Thanks, guys. Please make it official invitation. So
Yeah.
We will.
There's
it's
no-
official.
When
Put it on the fridge.
When are we going to know the
Yeah.
schedule? Because I saw
Offline,
a
give us your
clip-
address. We'll mail you something
yeah.
formal. Yeah.
LA, because of the Clippers and the Lakers, were trying to force the NHL to put it on a certain day.
I think
We won't know till we find out who they play.
it looks like
Good
Monday,
point.
Wednesday.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. It does look like that.
You know what I know, your M Chuck, is that all 4 California NBA teams are in the playoffs for the first time ever.
Are
Really?
they?
Yeah.
Ever.
Even Sacramento?
First time in 19 years.
Sacramento's like the best team in the.
Yeah, man. First time in
The
19
West,
years
yeah.
in the
Good
Good for
playoffs.
Sacramento, because
Good for
who's
them.
been there?
And then there's also the theory, fuck Sacramento, go Oilers.
Yes.
That's what
Go
I'm talking
Oilers.
about.
Yeah, you want to know why?
I
Because
don't
the
even have a
Sacramento Kings.
I don't have
Fuck
a
the
drip of
Kings.
association with anything.
Like
Every
the beam.
bit of energy, go
Yeah.
Oilers.
I like that. That's how we're ending. That's how we're ending the playoff hype episode. We'll be back on Monday when it could be a playoff game day. Talk with everyone then.